Hello, hola, and bonjour, my beautiful animation fans. So this is going to be kind of a different video. So it's going to be unscripted, and I just wanted to, talk about the cats that I've had, because it's kind of a loophole, you know? It's kind of a loophole, because I've always been, wanting to talk about warriors and, animation on this channel, so I don't know, I wanted to do one of these speed paint videos and I didn't really have a topic, so I decided just to talk about the cats I've owned. And it kind of loops in, I think so. So what you're seeing on screen now is my work for a long overdue map. I got the map part like a month ago, and luckily the map host is being very generous. The map is for the song Warriors, and it's part 4. So it's basically all of the cats in midnight meeting, the badger meeting midnight. Okay, so, these cats might not be in order of what I've had, because I've had, like, at least a dozen cats, and it's not really my fault that I've had so many cats. You'll see what I mean as I go along. So, the first memories of cats that I have is in, my grandfather's house we lived in for a while. He had 2 cats named Callie, because she was a calico. That's what, like, everyone names their calico cat, by the way. Or then there was Rosebud, and she was a fat cat. She was white and gray. She was really cute. Rosebud actually used to drink bath water. Like, for some reason, like, I'd be taking a bath, and she'd come and she'd, like, drink bath water, and it was like, there's soap in there. Callie was really, she was nice. She was a nice cat, but she just wasn't really a cat made for kids. When she was younger, I think she was in a house fire. I think so. That's how I think I remember my mom telling me that they couldn't find her and they thought she had died, but she had just hidden in the house and she'd gotten a little burned. So she really wasn't a very affectionate cat. She was a nice cat and she lived a very long cat life. I think she was put down when I was 7. She must have been like in her teens, her late teens, like 18, I think. Yeah, she got put down because she stopped eating and it turned out she had liver failure. Kidney failure, excuse me, which is very common in cats, unfortunately. So real quick, it's kind of a sidetrack. That is the number one cause of indoor cats' deaths is dehydration and liver or kidney failure due to dehydration. Cats do not usually drink. They do not feel thirst. So wet cat food or getting some extra water in them somehow is always a good option. This is what my vet has told me. So yeah, because cats don't usually drink when they're thirsty. They don't usually have a something telling them that they're thirsty. Okay, so she was put down, and my grandmother died, and so Rosebud went to my Aunt Teresa, who took care of her for several years. I think she died like 4 years later. I think she was almost 20. She was a good cat. She was a sweet cat. So the next cat I remember is Noodles, who was this orange Persian, kind of like the one cat from Harry Potter. What's that? Crookshanks, yeah. She had a smushed in face, and she was orange, and she was mean. She did not like me. I mean, maybe I was just because I was like a 8-year-old, and I was too noisy for her or something. I don't know. She loved my dad. My dad hates cats, he hated cats, so. It was so funny because, like, my dad would come and then she would come and sit in his lap and he'd push her off and she'd climb into his lap again and he'd push her off, and yeah, she loved him for some reason, and he hates cats, so I don't understand why that happened. We ended up giving her to a neighbor after we had her for like a year or 2, maybe. I don't remember why. That's going to be the reason for all of these cats, honestly, is that I don't remember why we gave them up. I have memory issues due to PTSD. I have memory problems. It's not anything serious. It's not something detrimental to me. It's just that I don't remember a lot of my childhood, so I have to sit and actually try and physically, like, remember stuff. Anyway, so after we got rid of Noodles, we found this cat, and this cat found us. She just, like, kind of walked up to the door, the sliding glass door one night, because we, like, saw a pair of eyes outside. Mom opened the door, and she just walked right in. She was, like, this little tiny black cat, and I was like, oh my god, we have to keep her. So we kept her for a while, and we loved her so much, and stuff. But then we, one day Mom let her outside because she was always going outside, coming back inside, and she never came back. And we think that she probably got picked up by another family because my mom said she never saw her, like, body anywhere, so she wasn't hit by a car or anything. I think she got picked up by another family, which if she did, good for her. She might have been named Midnight or Jade. I don't remember. Then we had Luna. Luna was a white Persian, kind of like the cat you see on the fancy feasts. Yeah, she looked like that. We did not have her for very long at all. I think my mom didn't like her because she wasn't very affectionate right away. Which, okay, so side note, my mom, I love my mom, obviously. But she gets frustrated when pets reach, like, these hurdles. Like, we got rid of so many dogs because they wouldn't potty train, even though she wasn't trying hard enough, in my opinion. And, we were little kids, so we couldn't, obviously, potty train a dog. But, like, she gets to the point where the animal stops being cute and the animal starts having problems, like whether it might be marking outside the box or just not being affectionate. And that's what happened with Luna. Luna wasn't very affectionate at first, which, you have to give cats time, first of all, to warm up to you. And also, a cat doesn't really show their true personality until about 2 years of age. Like, that's when they fully mature. But we got rid of Luna, and I miss her. She was a good cat. We also gave her to my friend. Then I got my very first cat ever at the age of 8. I got him. I wanted to name him Nilla. No, that wasn't Nilla. No, I wanted to name him Chester. Yeah, I wanted to name him Chester, and my mom wouldn't let me because she said that my brothers would call him Chester the Molester, even though they're not that smart. Like, come on. So I decided to name him Peanut Butter. He was an orange tabby. He was just a simple orange tabby, short hair. He was so sweet. I loved him so much. We didn't get him neutered in time because my mom didn't really want to spend the money, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe we did have the I don't know. We didn't have the money, I guess. And, he started marking outside of his box, and he started spraying all over the couches and stuff, and so my mom had to get rid of him, which really made me sad, because he was my first cat. But then I got my second cat years later. I got her, we went to a trailer park, and this lady was giving away a free cat and 2 free cats. I remember that the trailer park was just, like, full of cats. Like, there was cats running around all over the place. And my mom got a cat, and I got a cat. And my cat was the daughter of her cat. So there was Twinkle Toes, who was the cat I actually wanted to name Nilla, is Twinkle Toes. And then there was Topaz. They were both tortoiseshell, I think is what it's called. They were like calico, but without the white. Is that right? Like, they were long hair. They were kind of like a tortoiseshell mixed with a tabby, because they also had stripes. But, so my cat had longer hair than her mom did, but the reason that they were called Topaz and Twinkle Toes is because they each had 6 toes on every single foot. And then, so, like, it turns out that the mom was kind of promiscuous, I guess. So she was in heat, and we couldn't spare, because, it was expensive. So we decided, we didn't decide to. Well, we let her outside at one point, and we let her back in. She was an outside-inside cat. So we go to the vet, and we finally have the money to spare, and the vet comes back and says, yeah, she's pregnant. And my mom didn't want to abort the kittens because that would have cost more money. So we decided that we were just going to have the kittens. One night, I hear this noise, this like, heaving noise, like, this pain noise, and I look under my bed, and the cat's having kittens under my bed. So I'm like, no. So I reach under and tug her out, and my mom and I make her a little nest box inside one of the dresser drawers that we didn't use. And she ended up having 9 freaking kittens. 9 of them. Can you imagine in Warrior Cats if one queen cat had 9 kittens? It would be ridiculous. So they were mostly like black kittens or black and white kittens. There was 1 orange kitten and there was 1 yellow kitten. Don't get too attached to the kittens because, one of them died. And it didn't die naturally. So, it's kind of sad. Just warning you. So, my brother and my friend were over at the house. My brother lived at the house, obviously. So, my friend was over at the house. And Topaz had moved her kitten several times because me being, an 8-year-old, I had to be touching the kittens at all times. So I rushed over to the kittens and was always playing with the kittens. And Topaz didn't like that. She just wanted some privacy, so she moved her kittens several times. She moved them under my mom's bed. So the kittens were under my mom's bed, and my brother and my friend were playing on the bed, and they rolled off the bed, and the bed kind of went up on the box, the what is it called? The frame kind of went up, and it landed on one of the kittens when it came back down. Yeah, that was a really hard day. We took the kitten to the hospital. It was still alive as far as I knew, and it was like in pain because it landed on its neck, and I think it broke its neck. It was really sad. I cried a whole lot, and I'm getting kind of emotional just thinking about it because that wasn't fair. That kitten shouldn't have died. It was the little yellow one. We had named her wrong way because when she was born, she kept on trying to climb back into, her mom. Yeah, but that was really sad. We were really upset about that. My mom ended up getting rid of most of the kittens, obviously, because we couldn't handle, 9 cats. So, we gave them to our friends, and my friend, Autumn, still actually has hers. She has a little black kitten. I don't know what happened to the rest of them. We gave one of the kittens, Mandarin, to the friend that got Luna, and the friend that got Noodles, who, by the way, was an animal hoarder. We didn't know that, but yeah, she was an animal hoarder, and she was all constantly getting more animals than we did. But I have no idea where any of them are, except for one, so. Then there was Pookie. My mom picked the runt of the litter to keep, and she named her Pookie, from Garfield. And, it was actually really sweet. She was like a little black, gray, and white kitten. And she was just like the cutest thing. She never grew. She maybe grew a tiny bit, but that was about it. She didn't really grow. She was always very small. We must have had them for maybe 6 more months. And then we had to move because we got evicted from our apartment. And, and we had to get rid of the cats. And my mom gave them to a hoarder, not the friend, but there was a rescue that this woman had. This woman has a rescue, but she didn't have any cages. She didn't have any, she just had newspapers full of cat poo and cat pee all over her house, and her house stank so bad. It was. Sorry about that. I'll probably just have to edit this in post, but my brother got into the car. I was recording in a parking lot, Walmart. So, yeah. Where was I? Okay, so we got rid of my cat, Twinkle Toes, and I loved this cat. I adored her so much. She was like my world. And we had to get rid of her because we were moving, and my mom didn't know where we were going to live. We ended up living in a hotel for, this summer, and we actually lived in 2 hotels, and then we went to another school district. We got kicked out of there, and we had to go to another hotel, and it was a whole fiasco. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about cats. So we couldn't obviously bring our cats with us, but what really pissed me off, excuse my English, what really made me mad was that we got rid of the cats and we gave them to a hoarder. We gave them to a literal animal hoarder. And I was so heartbroken. And then for 4 years, I didn't have a cat. And I was always begging my mom, please, can I have a cat? Please, can I have a cat? But we never lived in a house that allowed cats. And then, then I was with my therapist, and she talked about how I could have an emotional support animal. And then I wouldn't have to worry about, my landlord getting mad for having my cat. So I finally convinced my mom because I kind of used leverage of my dad dying. I kind of used that as leverage for getting a cat. So basically I was very depressed. I was even more depressed than I am now, but I was extremely depressed when I was in high school because I was isolated for being gay, and I had no friends. I'm not even okay, so some people say I have no friends and they have a bunch of people and stuff. I literally had no one. I literally did not have one friend in the school. And I was isolated, I felt like, and so my therapist asked if getting a cat would help, and I was like, yeah, because I'd be caring for something, and I'd have something come home to come home to and I'd feel unconditional love. So my therapist set it up so I could have my emotional support animal. We ended up going to another trailer park in a town about 20 minutes from here. We went and we got a $10 kitten. It was off Craigslist. It was last minute. And this lady comes out. First of all, she was smoking marijuana because, yeah, like she opened her screen door and a big cloud of smoke comes out, and I was almost gagged. Ugh. I was 15, and I got my cat, and I named him Niles after the butler from The Nanny, because I wanted to dress him up in a little butler outfit. I thought that'd be so cute. He was very calm. He was a very calm kitty. I still have him, so I don't know as it was. I love him so much. He's my beautiful baby. He's 5, and I've had him since he was about 6 weeks old. I think we got him too early, but I've had him since he was 6 weeks old, and he's 5 now. He's so clingy, and I love him. Whenever I'm anxious, he knows to come onto my chest. He like lays on my chest if I'm laying down, or he'll climb into my lap and like put his paws on my chest. And I don't know, it's like, I say it's deep pressure therapy, but he's not trained, so I can't really call it that. He reads into my anxieties really well, and he knows when he needs to be there for me, which I appreciate. And he's just very comforting to me. He's always been a very comforting presence. I actually took him to college with me my second year, because my first year I thought I'd be okay alone. I thought I could handle it, you know, because part of me in the beginning didn't even think I needed him. You know, I just wanted a cat, and I just kind of wanted a loophole for a cat. But I had become dependent on him for emotional support. And my first year of college was awful. So, I still have him now. He's not like right here because I'm in the car recording for some privacy. And, he's in the house, and he sleeps with me. Like, he sleeps next to me, or he'll sleep, on top of me. He eats with me. He does everything with me. Like, he's my world, and I'm taking him when I move, obviously. And he's my everything. I even told my mom when I first went out of college 3 years ago, I told her, if you get rid of my cat, I will never forgive you. Because she was talking about getting rid of him when I left, because she didn't want to take care of him. So I literally told her, if you get rid of my cat, I will never forgive you. So she didn't, thankfully. And I've had him for 5 years. I've never had an animal for so long. I literally, before him, we'd never kept an animal, any animal, for more than 2 years. Not a dog, not a cat, not a hamster, not anything. But I'm not trying to keep this too down, so this video should end on a high note. I love my cat, and I have him now, and he's gonna be with me until he dies, and I love him so much. He's like my perfect baby. Yeah. Sorry that this video is so long. I just wanted to do a longer video, and let me know if you guys actually just come for the Speedpaint, or you actually want to hear about my shitty childhood. Anyway, sorry about being so rambly. Let me know if you actually enjoy these videos, or if I should just, like, stop trying to come up with videos for, like, talking speed paints, if I should just use music over my speed paints. I don't know. So, anywho, so I'm going to be packing for the next few days, so I probably won't be posting too much. Alright,